Hey guys, and welcome to the June 2019 Creativity Tarot readings. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Kayleigh Jean. If you're new to my channel, you are welcome to use these readings for your sun, moon, or your rising signs. So go ahead and check all of them if one of them doesn't resonate. And I just wanted to say to you, thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting my channel. This month, our Inner Workings topic is all about self-love. So if you're somebody who enjoys my channel and you get something beneficial from these readings and you want to support the work that I'm doing here, I am so grateful to you. And you have a couple of options on how to do that. So the Inner Workings topic is going to be posted on Vimeo, and it's going to be posted on the normal donations page. So if you prefer to donate to support my channel through my website, that option is revamped this time. I'm bringing it back. I was just exploring things last month. So you can donate to support this channel if you get something out of these readings and you want to say thank you. And just as an additional gift to you, I create the Inner Workings topic for each month, which is just a place for us to hang out and talk about spiritual topics. And I love hearing from you guys. And this month I am covering self-love, because it's such a buzzword and it's such a big topic, but I wanted to kind of take it deeper, and I wanted to share more intimately about my personal beliefs and my own personal thoughts on the concept of self-love, what it means, and how I measure it in my own life. And I'm also offering a tarot spread to help you connect to your own relationship with yourself. So that's going to be included in the Inner Workings topic. So I hope that if you're interested in supporting my channel, you will check that out. And I also wanted to say that I am going to continue creating the Vimeo extended readings. Have been a really great way for me to go deeper with the general monthly spreads that I do for you every single month. It's just a way for you to watch the deepening of the energies, especially if you feel that the reading is resonating to you. Then watching the extension is probably going to be even more connected to your energy, because these are just general readings, so they're not guaranteed to resonate with everyone every single month. Okay guys, those are my announcements. I will see you in the readings. Okay, Capricorn, let's get into your June reading. As I was tuning into your energy for the month of June, I was given this impression, first of all, about beautification in some ways. So for many of you, I feel like June is a month in which maybe you are not necessarily feeling intensely ambitious. Some of you could be feeling a lot of ambition because of specific transits that you have going on in your chart, but I feel like in general, I feel that there's something about kind of taking it a little bit easier on yourself in June, and then taking better care of yourself. So there's something coming through as well about you taking care of your appearance. So you could be I was getting the impression that for some of you, for example, if you deal with oily skin or if you get breakouts, you might try maybe a dietary change, or you might try a new product or a new cleanser that takes care of that for you, or you see massive improvement this month. I was seeing someone with like their face like totally just clean and clear and just feeling like really good about how they look. So some of you also might be doing something to your appearance where you feel younger, or returning maybe your hairstyle or something about your clothing style to maybe how you wore it when you were a teenager, or how you wore it when you were in your 20s or even 30s, and just kind of bringing something back that you really love about yourself and that you feel like is really accurate in terms of your personality. So feeling really good in your skin. And again, sometimes that is related to an outer change that we're making. Sometimes it's also just a feeling that we have. So we're like feeling good in our skin. So that was kind of the general feeling that I was getting for you, Capricorns. For some of you, I was picking up This is probably a really specific situation for someone out there, but I was picking up a little bit of a triangle situation. Could be a love triangle, where you are maybe choosing between two people, or maybe you have a partner or a spouse, but you're also attracted to another person, or vice versa. There could be a little bit of complications around that energy this month, so just be mindful of whatever projections could be going on within you and also the other person. Maybe if somebody is telling you a lot of sweet nothings, you can take that with a grain of salt as well and maybe enjoy it, but also don't get too carried away, I guess is the message, because especially if it's a love triangle situation, that can get really complicated. So just be mindful of your boundaries and how you want to ideally conduct yourself in all of your relationships this month. So those were the things that I was picking up for you during the meditation. I also just feel like something beautiful is coming in for you, but the way in which it manifests is full of twists and turns. So you're also kind of being invited to just have fun and enjoy the process of going out into the unknown in general in your life, Capricorn. So let's take a look at your cards for the month of June. Okay. This is the new Palladini tarot deck, and I'm really enjoying working with it. It's the first time that I've used it on this channel. And I'm going to also get you your animal spirit guides from the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, because how can I not? The animal spirit guides for Capricorn. What is going on with my beautiful Capricorns? What is going on with my Capricorns? Okay, so I just saw someone on a motorcycle. I don't know if and then at the same time, now I'm feeling like that's familiar. I wonder if I've said that to you guys before. But I feel like something about a motorcycle just came through. That was really random. So your path this month is the Scorpion, and the influence is the Owl. So this is a deep month. Again, I'm getting this impression that this is a very internal month. The Scorpion gives me this feeling of a little bit of introversion. It could be related to a Scorpio person that you have in your life. Maybe you have a Scorpio partner or a Scorpio child or a Scorpio friend, or maybe this is also an aspect of you if you have any planetary placements in the sign of Scorpio. But there's some kind of the Scorpio energy that's being activated within you. Some of that will have to do with sensitivity, both in terms of an emotional sense when you're dealing and interacting with others, but also sensitivity to the subtle realms. Because let's face it, sensitivity of any kind is usually sensitivity of many kinds. And that's a lot of the time why Scorpios have that reputation for being psychic or being highly intuitive or being really tuned into things, is because they also have a high degree of sensitivity just in general. And so it's easy to cross a Scorpio sometimes because they're just highly sensitive. So there's something about that within you, Capricorn. And I feel like what this is saying is that you are going to be feeling more and more intuitively turned on, I feel. But be mindful of yourself and your self-care as you enter into this more emotional phase, I want to say. One of the best things that you can do when you have the Scorpion energy is to retreat a little bit. not saying completely pull back, but retreat a little bit into yourself and make sure that you're getting plenty of time for journaling, for example, or taking a nice long hot bath with some Epsom salts and some essential oils. Doing things for yourself that give you alone time are really important in June, because especially it'll be really important for you, especially if you are hurt, or if you're feeling hurt, or if your ego is feeling bruised by anything, if you got some negative criticism or feedback, or if you have had to deal with a difficult person or a frustrating or draining situation. The alone time is really what is going to cure you. Capricorn just needs a little bit more time with Capricorn, that's just what it is. So I'm definitely seeing that will be kind of like the medicine for you this month. And then we do see blessings and good luck coming in with the owl card. So if you have this deck and you read the guidebook, it talks all about how this owl is the snowy white owl that is accompanied by the goddess Lakshmi, who's the goddess of prosperity. And so when it comes up in a reading, it points to prosperity coming into your life, abundance coming into your life, gifts essentially coming to you from spirit. So there's some kind of blessing coming through for you this month. It could be big for some of you, or it could be relatively small, but whatever it is, it's kind of unexpected, I feel, and it's something that just reminds you, I think, of the specialness of the universe, and it reminds you of your uniqueness, and it kind of instills in you a feeling of faith, which I think is more important to you than the actual monetary value of the gift itself or the opportunity itself. Whatever is coming through from spirit is coming through, again, remember, because you have Scorpion as your path, it's coming through and you're witnessing it as part of a subtle pattern. You're witnessing this blessing that's coming in through some kind of synchronicity. So it's making sense to you on a deeper level than just, oh, wow, I was blessed today, or I'm grateful. The gratitude is there, but it's something bigger because it fits into a bigger piece of a bigger puzzle. So you're more aware that you can rely on that kind of synchronistic magic happening for you. It gives you some sort of proof that you can really stand on, that you are interacting with the universe in a very moment-to-moment kind of way. I really love when I have kind of an experience that helps me out in practical ways, but then I actually look back at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, but I had a dream about that before it happened, and like the symbology was really clear. I just didn't know it at the time that, I had a dream about something before it happened, and now I know that my subconscious is guiding me. It's that kind of feeling. So again, it could be a big thing or it could be a small thing, but the most important aspect for you is that you actually are learning that you can trust those intuitive, subtle, or psychic hits that you get. So I'm really enjoying that. I think that's going to be really beautiful for you. So trust your spidey sense, Capricorn. Now we have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Two of Swords. We've got the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords, and the World with the Seven of Cups. Okay. So this is making a lot of sense. I'm kind of getting this impression as you go into the month of June that there's some stimulation of new ideas for you, Capricorn. And with the Ace of Wands, I feel like you are looking towards some kind of creative venture that you want to start, and you're actually just starting on it. Like, I kind of see this guy, I don't know why my guides showed this to me in this way, but I kind of saw somebody having an idea and then going straight to their laptop or their typewriter, you know, and just, it's like writing it down right away. So you get this idea or this flash of inspiration, and then you immediately write it down, and then you start working on it. So for some of you, you're going to feel like you were struck by your muse quite a bit in the beginning of the month, and you're going to feel like there's an inspiration for maybe a new project or a new goal, or maybe you just finished something and you've been kind of waiting for the next thing to kind of come through mentally for you, just so that you can know like where you want to set your sights. I think you're going to get that clarity. If you're a Capricorn who's been waiting for clarity, I think you're going to be getting that in the first week of June, and you're excited about what this new thing is, and you're already starting to work on it, which is exciting. We have the Queen of Swords and the Two of Swords in the second week of June, which to me, what I'm getting from this is that you could be dealing with an air sign woman, or it could be a man, because these are just general readings, but I would say more than 50% chance it's female, possibly. But the Queen of Swords can be kind of harsh. She can be a little bit overwhelming when it comes to kind of that cold, calculating observation. So, for example, the Queen of Swords is that friend that you would take your new manuscript, let's say, because we had the typewriter imagery coming through. If you really wanted an honest opinion and you were really preparing yourself to maybe have your work be cut up into a bunch of little pieces, you would take it to her. If you wanted more like of an enthusiastic kind of response, or you wanted to connect with somebody who just understood like the feeling or the excitement of what you're doing, then maybe you would take it to a Queen of Cups or a Queen of Wands. But the Queen of Swords, she'll cut it up. She will definitely give you very harsh, exacting feedback. So what I want to say is that for those of you Capricorns out there who are feeling a little bit more sensitive, because remember you have the Scorpion energy, which is about possibly feeling a little bit burned or a little bit stung by someone and needing to spend a little bit more time on your own in order to heal, or even if it's not somebody in your immediate time frame, you know, you could just be needing more time to yourself because you need to heal from things from your past, or you just want to be more present in this moment. But for some of you, if you are struggling with an individual, I could see that with the Queen of Swords. You might be feeling like this individual is, you know, possibly Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or just a very strong-willed person in your environment. I feel that there's a difficulty around communication because of the maybe abruptness of the way that this person uses communication, and it's kind of having the effect of maybe wanting you feeling like you want to block yourself off a little bit with the Two of Swords. So you could be setting boundaries with someone like that, or if this isn't somebody that you can set boundaries with, like maybe it's a manager or somebody at work who is maybe more of an authority figure, you can't necessarily just set as firm of boundaries with them because it's part of their job to critique your work, or, you know, whatever. There's so many situations, but I feel that it's important for you, Capricorn, to set your own energetic boundaries, just in terms of your own spiritual connection to yourself, and to kind of owning your own energetic space. There's something here about releasing the, I want to say like the openness that you have previously kind of brought to this situation. And that's not always the most appropriate response. You know, to close ourselves off can be problematic, but there's times when that is exactly what we need. So I want to say that for some of you, I feel like there's a bit of a retreat actually that I'm getting, that you are using that strategy, like you're using the retreat strategy in a situation with somebody who has the potential to be kind of harsh or aggressive in terms of how they come off. I feel like for some of you, this Queen of Swords person is not necessarily trying to hurt you. They might be trying to help you in the best way that they can, but they're just not very good at empathizing with others, and they're not very good at reading kind of emotional cues. Like this is the type of person that will just be very point blank and very direct, but there and then not really be as aware of like how that's affecting other people. So I'm not saying necessarily that this person has negative intentions. I just think that you might be feeling a little bit more sensitive, Capricorn, and that's normal. It's, obviously it's in your energy to feel a little bit more sensitive this month, but the best thing you can do, I think, is to retreat a little bit and to get some space. And you can even visualize a cube around yourself before, for example, if you have to interact with this individual at work or whatever, visualize a cube of space around your body. And you can take this, far. You can do this for 5 minutes if you want, but visualizing a very strong force field of energy. It can also be a circle or whatever shape you want, but just envision this blockade of energy where nothing can come in and harm you, but if there are good, loving, unconditionally loving vibes out there coming through from spirit or from people who are close to you, that the force field that you're creating will allow those energies to come in. So basically you're just shielding yourself from any harsh energies is really what I see that's beneficial for you in that second week of June, because you're going to probably feel a little bit sensitive to the harsh energies coming from another person. Don't take it personally. Knight of Swords and the Queen of Wands in the third week. There's not a lot of cohesion with these cards. They're not facing each other. I don't really think that these two characters on the cards seem to get along that well. For some reason, I'm feeling, even though neither of these are in your element, Capricorn, you're an earth sign, so this is the Queen of Fire and then the Knight of Air. I kind of am feeling your energy more in the Queen of Wands, honestly, than in the Knight of Swords. So there could be a situation maybe with a younger person in your life, and it could be an air sign or not, but there's something where the communication is just off. It could be with somebody, again, who is younger than you or below your station in some way, and they maybe think that they know better than you do. It kind of reminds me actually of when a teenager kind of will be talking to their parents and sort of acting like they have all the answers and that their parents are just kind of silly or outdated or stupid. And you're kind of, as the parent or, as the older person in the scenario, that the person is just coming from a place of lack of experience. And so it's just a perspective difference. I think sometimes maybe in these situations, both perspectives can have valid points and both perspectives can also be lacking a little bit. But I don't really see this as being like a fruitful place to put your focus this month. I just kind of get the feeling for you, Capricorn, that you're on a different wavelength than the other people around you. And of course, if it's people in your family, you're going to have to interact with people. You're going to have to keep having dinner with them every night or whatever. And if it's people at work, well, there's only so much you can do about that. But I do want to say that I think the most fruitful energy that's coming through for you in the month of June is really to just spend time with yourself. That's like the message that just keeps coming up over and over again is you're not going to find that much gratification in the people outside of you this month. I think that there's going to be a lot of things where you're feeling like you're not on the same page with other people or you're not seeing eye to eye. And I think that that's going to ultimately it's going to prove to be a little bit unsatisfying for you because as a Capricorn, you do like to have people kind of aligned. You like to work with everybody. You like to have everything be working smoothly, especially at your job or in your business. You really, really value cohesiveness in your environment. You really value things making sense and people being on board and things being efficient. But I just don't know that you're going to be able to always have that this month. And so I think the best thing that you can do is take that creative idea that you have, that new idea that's very transformative with the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, whether it's a new business idea or it's an area of study or academics, or you're going to go back to college and get another degree or get your GED or get a vocational training, or if you're going to write a book or create some kind of new form of artwork, whatever it is, do that and focus on that, Capricorn, because that's where your power is this month. Your power is not in trying to convince everybody else to communicate with you the way that you want to be communicated with, or to see things the way that you see them. That's not where the fruitfulness comes in. It can be challenging because you do have Mars opposing your sign throughout the month with Mars in Cancer. So it can sort of be a little bit frustrating. And now that I'm looking at this, I feel like it relates a lot to the Mars in Cancer energy, is that you're going to have Mars opposing your sign, and any points that you have in your sign, your sun or your ascendant or your moon or whatever, as Mars opposes those points, you're going to be getting opposition from like people around you. So it makes a lot of sense. And I feel like the most beautiful work that you can do is inner work. And it's also kind of work that you do in introspection or work that you do in isolation. That's really where the money's at as well with the Eight of Pentacles. So if you have something that's creative that you want to do that you hope to make into a business, like ding, 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 that is what you're meant to focus on this month, and building it and not talking about it. Like, don't tell people what it is. Don't share your intentions, especially not on social media, because there's a tendency when you have a Mars opposition like this that you could see competition coming out of the woodwork and stuff. So you don't want to be sharing your ideas too widely and speaking about your intentions, because then your competitors are going to know what you're going to do before you're going to do it. So especially if you're in a competitive industry, Capricorn, keep that stuff sealed up. Keep it under wraps for now and just work on it. Work on it behind the scenes and set your energetic boundaries with the people around you who are maybe not kind of working on the same level that you are. By the end of the month, we have the Seven of Cups in the world. So there's a lot of possibilities coming in, and we're definitely going to look deeper at this with your extension reading, but what I see here is that there's a smorgasbord of choices in front of you at the end of the month. So I don't know if it's like that you get a call from some owner of a company, maybe the company that you work for, and they have some options for you. They want you to consider working overseas, or maybe you get that type of a call from your office, but then also your main spouse or your partner gets another job offer in Hawaii, and it's the opposite direction of the first offer that you got in Europe or whatever. You just get the sense of like big choices that have to be made, and there's more choices than you thought there was going to be, and there's more details to consider. Like, there's more research to consider than you expected. So there's a lot. You know, this is going to be a powerful time of choice in particular. And I just don't want you to get too, what's the word? I don't want you to feel ungrounded, I guess, by these energies of choices, because the truth is, no matter what you choose, you can always kind of go back and change things later if you need to. You're never totally stuck, Capricorn. I know that moving, if the choice is about moving or traveling, then obviously that's a big commitment. But still, I don't want you to take it too seriously. And I also don't want you to idealize too much of what could be, because the Seven of Cups can be a card associated with fantasy and illusions. So I want you to be careful about what you're choosing. And of course, you are a practical sign, so I don't think you're particularly prone to flights of fancy, although you could have some things in your chart that would make you more likely to be a little bit more imaginative with things like this. But In general, I'm kind of feeling this more like just a lot of choices and there being like long-term consequences for those choices, like if you move, for example, or if you change your career. So what I want to say about this is you don't have to choose right now. And clearly, if you're not grounded with the Seven of Cups, if you're not grounded, then it's not worth choosing at that moment. So you need to really, again, come back to yourself and nurture yourself. And you can do that through alone time or through maybe saying no to like friend stuff for a little while, or getting a couple hours to yourself every week to just draw or make your art and just relax and listen to music, meditate, connect with your spirit, connect with your higher guidance. That's really where you're going to experience the most profound growth this month. Focusing too much on the external is going to prove disappointing. But know that something that you really want, that maybe you didn't even know that you wanted, is coming to you in mysterious ways with these cards at the end of the month. If I could sum this up in like one poetic phrase, it would be from Rumi, like what you want also wants you. But sometimes when what we want is still in the process of coming towards us, our ego, like our conscious self, can get confused and think that we are the director of that. But really, whatever we truly want and whatever is truly ours can never be taken away from us. So if we just make whatever choice feels right to us in the moment without overthinking or without over-idealizing, then gradually, over time, we are following our bliss. And therefore, our bliss is following us and coming up to us and meeting us. So I want you to contemplate that and just recognize that whatever is meant for you is manifesting. So you don't need to overanalyze every single option that ever comes through for you. Okay. So I'm going to get your extension cards. In these extension readings, I just like to look at developing the energy and looking more at the outcome of each week so that you can use the energies to your best advantage. I'm also going to be looking at a relationship spread. This is the Central Cross spread from the Celtic Cross, and I'm using it to look at your energy and the energy of another person, the most significant person to you at this time. So let's take a look at your Soul Trees Oracle. Feels like this one. And we're going to look at your Wisdom of the Oracle card as well, just like an overall message. Feels like this one. And I'm also going to get and interpret for you right now a message from the Bob Ross playing card deck. This is not technically an oracle deck, but it's so, so sweet. And I found it to be spooky accurate, especially when I'm reading for creatives. So I'm definitely going to be excited to pick this one for you. And it feels like the top one. So let's take a look at what we've got. Okay, so the message from the Bob Ross oracle deck is, we don't make mistakes, we just have happy accidents. And I love this too because I feel like it's just such a beautiful thing to embrace accidental things that happen in our creative process. For me, especially with painting, which is funny because Bob Ross is a painter, but I feel like it's something where if I make a mistake on a painting or a drawing, a lot of times the mistake is the best part of it. Like it'll be a line that I drew that I didn't think I wanted to be that way, but then when I stand back and look at it, I'm like, oh, that was way better than I ever would have imagined. And I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't an accident. And so sometimes our life is like that. Sometimes we think we're doing something on purpose, but then what we actually are creating is very different from what we had intended, but it still ends up having exactly the flavor that we need it to. So let's take a look at your extension cards. We've got Six of Pentacles, Judgment, and the Ace of Wands again, clarifying the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. We've also got the Seven of Cups again with the Sun and the Magician. Beautiful. Lots of empowerment and manifestation. So we've got a Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Eight of Wands, Page of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Hermit. And then in your relationship spread, your energy, wow, King of Cups and Lovers, you are definitely feeling more sensitive this month, Capricorn. And then in the other person's energy, King of Swords and Seven of Wands. Okay, so there's that kind of regal sword energy that we saw previously in the Queen of Swords. So we know that that archetype is going to come more into play as we deepen the messages. We have possibilities and mending coming through. Wow. All right, Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. All those things are really helpful to my channel, and they're really helpful to me because they let me know that these readings are helpful to you. So thank you so much for being here. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you letting me read for you every month, and I'll put the information for the extended reading below if you want to support this channel and you get something beneficial and you'd like to continue watching, then I'm so grateful to you for that as well, and I'll put that information below. I also have a sale that I am running this month on Astro Tarot blended readings, which I've been having so much fun with. And this one is a career / life purpose / creative journey type of reading. So I'm going to analyze your chart from the perspective of your astrological energies related to your best career and financial and creative pathways to success. And I'll also be pulling some tarot cards and connecting psychically to see what other messages want to come through. So if you're interested, there is a limited supply, and I will put the information below the video. Okay, Capricorn, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have an amazing month in June. I wish you lots and lots of peace and prosperity. Bye.